Queensland and other cities will shut its border to places considered hotspot for the coronavirus. Joining us live from Brisbane, Australia, here's Mia Macapagal. Hello, Mia.
Good evening, Alma.
Good evening, Mia. Your updates for us, yes.
Yes, so today I'll be bringing the latest figures and updates of the COVID-19 pandemic here in Australia. The Department of Health has published that there were 483 new cases that arose in the last 24 hours. 471 of these new cases from Victoria and the remaining 12 from the state of New South Wales. These figures contribute to the nation's overall case count of 19,862 and sadly 255 deaths. With an estimation of 7,747 active cases and 600 hospitalizations, the COVID-19 pandemic here in Australia is far from over. With a majority of these new cases locally acquired, the authorities continue to adamantly advise the nation of the restrictions and guidelines to help minimize the spread of this virus. With social distancing and practice of good hygiene implemented throughout the nation, each state has individual rules and restrictions according to their respective situations. Therefore, it is important to be informed as updates are frequently being published. Border closures and restrictions are evidently changing as daily case counts continue to rise. As of 1 a.m. on the 8th of August, further restrictions on Queensland border entries will be effective. The New South Wales and Victoria borders continue to uphold entry restrictions where border entry permits must be obtained in order to enter through these closed borders. This, however, does not apply to essential emergency workers. The so-called COVID-19 hotspots are published places or areas throughout the nation where active cases or a cluster of active cases are found. These places are classified as a risk of the virus getting transmitted. The entire state of Victoria has been declared as a hotspot. And as of 1 a.m. on the 8th of August, New South Wales and the Australian Capital Territory will also be declared as a hotspot. Mandatory self-isolation is required to those who have travelled from a COVID-19 hotspot, those who have been in close contact to a confirmed case, those who have been in Victoria for 14 days prior to arriving in a new place, those who are suspected, and those who have been tested and are awaiting for their results. Penalties will be applied to those in violation of these self-isolation measures. That is all I have for now. Back to you, Alma.
All right, Mia, you mentioned border pass in order to go through or to get through. Can you secure this online, and how long is it valid for?
Yes, Alma. So there are various eligibility requirements before you are able to apply for these border passes. So in order to apply for these permits, some of the requirements concern the reason for entering into a closed border. So you must be entering for legitimate essential reasons. It could be because you're a resident of that state, or it could also be for educational and medical reasons. If it is not for essential reasoning, permit approval is subjective to an individual's situation. These permits are valid for 14 days once approved and can be applied not only by land, but also by air and sea. Back to you, Alma.
All right. Thank you very much, Mia, for all that information. Looking forward for more updates from Australia. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you, Alma. From Brisbane, Australia, this is Mia Macapagal, Eagles, and we live in interesting times.